Hey everybody, how you doing out there? I'm going to do a breakdown of this Bitcoin Cash breakout today. I was actually part of this. I didn't catch this initial move up, which I'm kind of disappointed about, but hey, I've got a job like everyone else, right? So I've got a job. I have a lot of flexibility. I'm able to, have stuff up on my computer screen. I still do my job very well, but I'm able to watch the markets, and I'm very lucky to have that opportunity. I know a lot of people don't. So anyway, I caught Bitcoin Cash. I really caught it on this last up thruster too, and I'm like, man, it's just too late to get in, and it was. So I basically watched it come down here. Let's just zoom in here. I watched it break up here past $4, watched it come back, or $400, watched it come back into 360. Walked away from my desk for a little while, then it came up here. I was looking at this volume and noticed this bigger volume here and this bigger volume here, thinking it was some selling, so I didn't get in, and it came back down, and then it started to go up a little bit. Had a really small volume bar, and then on this bar I decided to get in because I thought maybe it was going to continue. So I got in on this bar here. Actually bought at a really bad time. I bought it about 405, and then it proceeded to come down on me. So long story short, I'm sitting here, in losses, and then it continues down, gets down towards 380. I'm like, man, what happened is it broke this trend line. I had this trend line drawn here, and I thought that was going to be the trend line. Excuse me. I thought this was going to be the trend line. Turns out I was incorrect. So it came down here, came down to the 380 level. Actually sold out down here at about 380. I thought maybe it could consolidate for a long period of time, but I kept an eye on it. So I sold it, took my lumps on that one, and then it started flattening out again. Popped up, didn't do a lot. The volume wasn't there, so I noticed the volume was negligible. Then it flattened out here, and I kind of walked away from my desk again. I had to go do a couple things at work, and then it popped up here. And then by the time I came back from my meeting, actually, it was sitting right here, and my boss was standing right next to me. So I've got two monitors up at my job. I've got my work and my email up on my one monitor. On my left monitor, full screen Bitcoin chart. So I felt kind of cool there, but I'm like, hey, this thing's going out. I'm gonna buy this whether my boss is standing here if my boss is standing here or not. I'm gonna buy this. So he's a cool guy. He didn't care, and he was talking with someone else in the office anyways at the time. So anyway, so I bought this thing. I ended up purchasing it by the time I kind of got everything situated at about about $420 or so. I'll be honest with you, I kind of botched this part of the trade up. I really should have bought this at 410 when I was initially really itching to buy it when it broke over these two highs. But I was a little jaded by this prior loss that I took. I didn't want it to come up then come back down, but I said to myself, I'm like, okay, this thing went down to 380. It didn't break the prior lows. It continued higher. It has, lack of selling. Look at these 3 15-minute bars. That is lack of selling. That is no one interested in selling this currency. So I noticed that. I saw the volume increase on the upside, which shows a lot of buying pressure. There's a little bit of selling here, whatever. But I saw 410. I got a little scared. The volume really wasn't there on this bar, and then it came in on this bar, which is why I ended up buying at 420 because I saw the volume come in, and then it went sideways and then proceeded to go up, and I had to walk away again, and then I come back, and I think it was like 540, or actually I think it already made the peak and was coming back down. It was at about 540, and so I'm just holding this thing at this point. So it's nice, doing nice here. It's coming up to 504. We had it pull back again, as you can see. The volume flatlined a little bit. Here's some nice green volume, and the bar closed up, which is good, indicating this is mostly buying throughout this entire bar. The next bar is very low volume, so we're seeing very little selling pressure. This thing really should continue its upward trajectory, which I'm kind of excited about, and I hope when I go to bed tonight it just doesn't crash into nothing, because these things seem to move. I'm in Arizona, United States, and these things seem to move in the middle of the night. So let's go back out to the daily just to see what this thing's capable of doing. So we know Bitcoin Cash here. We know after the fork, I actually wasn't watching it. At that point in time, but you can see it ran up to $1,500 almost, which is quite phenomenal. I'm not anticipating a move somewhat like that, but if it continues with this pressure, maybe it gets up towards $1,000. I mean, I think that could be a possibility if buying pressure stays solid here, if the Bitcoin market stays solid. Another good thing is for the currency market, the stock market really appears to be selling off, so we may get some increased people from the markets, the stock markets, wanting to come into cryptocurrencies, test the waters, since they're going to get bored in the market when everything's tanking. Maybe that's something that's going to happen. So that's my little breakdown of this Bitcoin Cash trade. I honestly, truly wish I was here around this $300 level and I could have seen this thing take off. I may have even actually bought some, even probably up as high as 340, but I wasn't fortunate enough to be there for that. And I took a little lump here, but luckily I'm catching this move up here. That brings me to a trading lesson. There's a million trading lessons, but you can never give up on a good chart pattern. You can never give up on a good currency or stock. You just can't, because the second it shakes you out, the second you sell and think, oh man, I missed the move, I'm done, this sucks, and you get dejected, start feeling sorry for yourself, then you're not going to have enough confidence to jump back in and get the next leg up, because they're going to shake you out. They're going to do that. Cryptocurrency is an immature market compared to stocks. In the stock market, they really mess with your emotions. I mean, time and time again, you can get into something, it'll fail, and you have to get stopped out because that's your strategy. But you know what? You have to get back in that stock. You have to get in it time and time again. That's the job. That's your job as a trader, is to not let your emotions get in the way of a decision, of a plan, of anything. So it's all about the chart. It's all about what it's telling you. It's not about what you think it's going to do. It's about what it's actually doing. And that's why you have to buy these things at the right proper time. I think my second buy was a really good buy. I think my first buy wasn't a horrible buy. I think my sell was horrible. My buy wasn't horrible. I honestly think that was a horrible sell. That was mostly an emotional sell. My buy was a fairly logical buy. My sell was an emotional sell, and I'm not super happy about that. Like I said, I lost $10 here. I'm not super happy about that, but I'm not going to beat myself up about it. I took the plunge. It's working out. Hopefully it stays that way overnight. So there's my breakdown. There's my breakdown again of Bitcoin Cash. Any questions, hit me up in the comments. Thanks.